And then Brittany, our exec Brittany said, like, what if God pops up and is like, oh, it's pronounced Jod.
It's
It's Jod instead.
totally possible. That's another question, though.
And then
Okay,
I'd be
so
like, no way. And then God would be like, Yahweh.
Oh
So
my
that's
god.
that's another
Oh
possibility.
my god, really? Really?
What if
Oh
what
my
if
God.
black holes are the intake part of wormholes that go into stars?
What?
So you have a wormhole, right? At
Okay.
one point, you have a black hole that's absorbing everything. And at the other point, you have a star. The center of the star is the singularity of the black hole. So when it absorbs everything in on one side, it spits it out on the other side. But because of the heat, pressure, temperature, and everything else, when it
Yeah.
spits it out on the other side, it spits it out as a star. So what you're seeing is a star, but it's actually just the end point in a wormhole. Or it's the outlet. It's the
So
outlet point
is
from a black
what
hole.
you're trying to say that God could pop his head in and say, yo, what's up?
Me not limit him, but
Like what if, okay, like what if Trump like wins
no,
and then God
no.
pops his head in and is like, nah. Like God points his finger and just like just vaporizes him. That's it.
Wow.
That
That's
okay.
No, so if I
That's
say that, I'm
different.
like, Jano, I would just have to lock off myself from the world because I'm too
Have
afraid
to be
to
like,
know.
fuck you, Jod.
I'm like, Jano, Judd.
Jod, I appreciate
Okay.
it.
Hello?
So
If the
welcome.
is one black hole,
No,
oh my
it
god.
is not.
Okay.
The Bermuda Triangle is okay. First of all, if the
Oh, do
Bermuda
you know
Triangle,
what a black hole would do
conspiracy.
to this planet?
yeah,
If it was a black hole, like I'd love you to know that if even like
No
one
man, it could be like a super ultra microscopic black hole.
if
And
one
that's what's only
centimeter
pulling in
of
a
black
few
hole,
stuff.
but if 1
That's
centimeter
why I said ultra
no, Brittany,
microscopic.
because you have the Schwarzschild radiation, not Schwarzschild field, and
Hawking
the
radiation.
Heisenberg Hawking radiation that
No,
negates
that's
that.
why it's like
If a
ridiculously
black hole
like
is
next level
small,
tiny.
if a
No,
black
but
hole
if
is
it's
too small, it just like fizzles out. And if a black
Mhm.
hole
Yeah, you're right.
if a black hole like is above that size where it fizzles out, it just starts eating. It just
becomes a
it just like
chunky
looks
boy.
at everything will be like, yo, you're mine, and starts eating.
It just
And
start
That
getting
sounds
bigger
like
and
just
bigger.
sounds like some people I know.
You can't. Yeah, tell me say I go still call him God even when you tell you to call him Jad.
no, true,
No.
because Jamaicans can't
Them
admit.
can't take correction, but on a big, the whole how much Jamaican a big Christian and God himself come to the same name Jad, and you go, you decide.
No,
you
then the
decide
people,
that you go
no,
still call him God.
then the
You
stubborn
decide.
old Christians, they're going to be like, oh no, but him never said that. Him just,
How?
we
all saw it. We all saw it.
God just come in. God just come in and say, "Yo, I Judd," and then one Christian at the bar is like, "You feel," and then that's it. That's it, and it's
honestly, if him did say a Jad, would I just sit down in contemplation for the rest of my life? I'll say that still.
I'd be like, "Yo, bro,
like,
why now?"
No, not just that. Like maybe I'm just tired of him just hate hearing the word good, and then I'd be like, so why you like there's so many things you need to help with. This is not why.
But
my dear gosh.
I just sit there in contemplation for a very, very long time.
I think the reason that we don't throw everything in the Bermuda Triangle is that the garbage itself is bigger than the triangle. Like,
Yeah,
y'all,
literally.
okay, there are like a couple garbage patches in the ocean, and
There are full countries.
the biggest one is around the size of Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Texas is bigger than the Bermuda Triangle. So yeah. So yeah, true.
True.
Yeah,
True,
man.
you know.
Like I'm kind of just reading the chat, be like, y'all, the Bermuda, the Bermuda Triangle is like, it's small. Remember, like, even if the Bermuda Triangle is a black hole, it would be picky, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
It would exist to
'Cause,
collect all
like,
our trash. I mean,
we
it would either
so
eat
would you do
everything
that?
or nothing.
Would you want people to experiment on using a black hole to eat trash from Earth?
No,
Why not though?
no.
It
Humans
has
not
so
accept
much
that.
it
I
has
mean,
so much possibility to go so right,
I
doesn't
mean,
it?
the issue though is that like there aren't that many resources that we could use.
On Earth. Yeah.
You know
Like
what I
we
mean?
honestly don't
If we
have
send
enough trash
everything
for
to a
that.
black hole, sure, the trash is like gone, but
Everything else is gone with it.
yeah, we still lose like a lot of potential.
Yo, we would have negated chemistry because for chemistry all equations have to be balanced. But that would allow you to unbalance the
geometry
energy.
has a fit, and just
what would make it unbalanced?
oh my
No,
god!
because
So
you can't create.
y'all,
I didn't hear.
seems to be that the G in God is silent.
It's
Yeah.
odd.
And it's just
And it doesn't.
That's different. That is different. I haven't heard that before.
if there's an odd, is there an even?
No, that.
Can there be an even without an odd?
No, the point is that there is no even. It's just odd.
Channel.
But without even, is
Sad.
there odd?
Come on, if God was even, then we'd get wrecked. Yes.
Oh, Jesus pronounced even. I see. So-
What? Wait,
And
No.
Jesus
wait. Go on here.
No,
Go on here.
no. Jesus is not pronounced even. Jesus is
Even.
more odd
Even
than
Stephen.
anything.
Even Stephen. My God.
Steven.
First of all, Jay wasn't even like a little back in Hebrew. So
If we want to get like
anyways,
accurate, though, like Jesus' actual name was like Yeshua.
Mm-hmm.
So
that still isn't accurate.
Yeah, and there are a few
Exactly.
beyond that.
exactly.
Some people
So
say it's Yava. Some people just say it's Ya.
because
Listen,
we
though.
don't speak Hebrew, we never
Okay.
did. We
The
never.
thing is, though,
If we're
if
gonna
someone
go
comes
into
up to me,
scripture,
There
some people
in the center
quarrel
of the
about the name. Some people quarrel about the name and that we should pronounce it the right name because there's some scripture saying, yo, if they know me by my name, da 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 da. You know the one I'm talking about. But
Mhm.
if we look back into what the word the name, what we translated the word name from in Hebrew, the
We
word
don't speak Hebrew though.
for it really was about character. So it wasn't
Yeah.
about the name itself. So
And Brittany, think about it this way: how many nicknames do you have? Like
Exactly.
your little cousin can come up to you and call you Brit, and that nowhere up on your birth certificate, but you
I
still
had a
know
little
who
cousin
they're
who
talking
called me
to.
Brittany.
Bertney.
Bernie.
Yes, Brittany, because he couldn't
Awesome.
pronounce he couldn't do the bruh, so he had
No,
to
she
the
was
bruh.
trying to. He was trying to be a gangster. He was like Bernie. He was trying to be a gangster.
Big Bert.
Oh wow.
Oh yes, Brittany. Yes. There is a black hole in the center of the Milky Way.
Yes.
In the center of
Aren't they in,
many
all
galaxies. In the center of
Okay.
galaxies. I don't know if it's all galaxies, but in the center of at least most galaxies, there's a black hole. So,
But what are black holes though?
yeah, that's kind of a thing that we don't. Black holes
We'll get into
are
it on another
easily
episode.
like the most extreme thing we've ever known about in the universe. So the black hole has the most extreme gravity. Light
All
can't
that mass super condensed.
super thick, and the black hole is the only thing that's maybe like thicker than peanut porridge.
Wait,
So
what? Daniel, please
we
explain that to me.
Peanut porridge. I've had thicker cornmeal porridge than peanut porridge than
I've
anywhere
never had
else.
peanut porridge in my life.
When you have cornmeal porridge, when you put in your spoon, it's supposed to just have a little bones before you stick it in. It's supposed to be that thick, bro.
but like cold peanut porridge is probably the closest we're ever going to get to like a neutron star on the planet Earth. By the way, y'all, all right, a black hole has to if you want a black hole to form, you need a massive amount of mass. So
Yeah, that's heavy.
if you don't have solar masses to form a black hole, you might just get like a neutron star. And what a neutron star is that there's so much pressure. There's so much pressure at the center that you know how like in the model of the atom, the protons and neutrons are like a distance away from the electrons. There's so much pressure at that pressure overcomes the force between the electrons and the rest of the atom. So the electrons get sent down to the protons and kind of like, I guess, form neutrons. And that happens kind of rarely, but yeah, you get neutron stars. I think there are more neutron stars than black holes, but yeah.
How are neutron stars related to white dwarfs? I forget.
If you have like if you have a super small star, then it doesn't. If you have a star and there's not enough gravity to form a neutron star, it just makes a white dwarf. So
Oh, okay. So it's different levels of failing to be a black hole.
yes.
That's
So
an interesting grading system.
So there are brown dwarfs. I'm sure you've met many brown dwarfs in Jamaica, but
Oh, no, that
essentially, I'm so sorry, we are demonetized. I just demonetized us, I think.
Yes, you just demonetized that stream. Thank you very much.
Right. So brown dwarfs are, they haven't become stars yet.
Which is essentially a larger version of Saturn, if I remember correctly. Or
Yeah, almost like a larger version of Jupiter.
Jupiter, sorry.
You can think of a brown dwarf as like somewhere in between a gas giant and an actual star.
They're failed stars.
Yeah.
Don't call them failures, they're just slow.
My God. Differently abled stars.
Differently abled stars. Special needs stars.
Oh my God.
Okay, I'm going to stop now.
Yeah, so if you're a brown dwarf, you haven't become a full star yet. If you become like a small star, when you go you're not big enough. If you're a small star, you're not big enough for a supernova. So you kind of just fizzle away into a white dwarf, and then the white dwarf fizzles away into a black dwarf.
Do those at any point get to the point of becoming planets? Like, do they work themselves down into the point where they're planets?
I don't know, but probably. I'm not sure though.
Because you know that, what is it, Iron 52 is the end result of all of the star stuff happenings, as far as we know.
The thing about it is that iron comes under like an immense amount of pressure, and if your star isn't big enough, you don't have that pressure. So sometimes burn out. You literally, if you're like a small star, you literally just burn out all your energy, and that's all that's left. That white dwarf. So
But then what happens after that? Though?
a black dwarf, and then that black dwarf just like, I don't know, floats around and just.
But does that ever become a planet? That's what I'm wondering. Because technically it's in space,
I would say it has the capacity to, but I wouldn't. I can't tell you what I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So some stars go. So like to tell Brittany, some stars go.
No, Cher Bear, you're not fizzling out in your school years. You'd be fine.
No, not white holes. What are you talking? What are you talking about?
Oppression.
And
that's on colonization. Period.
White holes. White holes are like theoretical. Okay, so we've never actually found the opposite of a black hole in real life.
That's what I was saying though. What if those are outputs from? What if stars are outputs from black holes?
Don't know.
No, I don't think.
Couldn't tell you.
Though?
Couldn't in
colonization.
Star in? I don't think so.
It's an interesting possibility. I don't see how it would make sense, but black holes defy explanation because you shouldn't have something that's taking up mass and energy and just eating it.
Gobbling it up. I think that's amazing. I mean,
the best of us know that we can't go and eat fast food every day and not gain weight. It's just not how it works.
But
black holes are just
said, who gives AF? We don't.
Black holes are like, I will have a side of a planet with that.
Oh.
And turn it into spaghetti first.
Wait, what? Oh yeah, spaghettification.
Yeah, it stretches it out.
Yup. So they said that like if you really get spaghettified, if you can somehow remain conscious for like the next couple seconds, you'll be able to see your head back. So you can see
much less things have happened.
Yeah, that's not it. That's not okay. I'd hope I don't remain conscious.
Yo, some people stand up in the sun for too long and they faint. I don't think people are gonna be alright with being spaghettified.
Like, I'm hoping that if I got spaghettified, that the what was I gonna say? Yeah, that it would just stretch the neurons out, so I wouldn't feel anything, you know.
So, Brittany says that she does not believe in the Big Bang Theory. Care to expound, like, what?
That's an interesting one.
Just reciting the Big Bang Theory song in the chat. We love that.
Y'all nerds.
The Bare Naked Ladies cover
the Big Bang Theory. I don't believe in that show either.
Mood Bazinga. Actually, I think it's math science history, not mad science history. But yeah.
Wow. Learn something new every day.
One of the only. Okay, fine. Won't fight.
Are you guys talking about the show or the theory?
Yes.
Brittany was talking about the theory, but then they started talking about the show.
Talking about mainly the theory. The theory is what really matters right here.
Okay.
I mean, when you think about it, yeah, the universe is expanding. We know that. Stuff is moving apart at a somewhat constant rate, and we can only guess why that is, where it came from. It makes sense that we would have had a Big Bang because, like, yeah.
Okay. What's my question is, we know that everything's moving outward. So we have a general idea of where it came from then?
Not particularly. There's
Okay, so the thing about that is that we yes,
Daniel, you remember
we've done measurements. We know that galaxies are moving away from each other, meaning most to all galaxies are moving away from each other. So
Into what?
We don't
Where
know.
do they find the space to do this?
We don't know if they're moving in anything. Because the thing is, maybe you guys might see imagine like the universe as like a bathtub.
Oh, I do not.
Just like
I don't know.
And galaxies are just like bubbles moving further and further away from each other in a bathtub.
Can we sell universe soup on
Actually,
Patreon?
the more accurate way to picture it is that the galaxies are
has an
moving away from each other because the bathtub itself is getting bigger.
Okay.
So what's the bathtub?
The bathtub is supposed to be like a bad analogy for like the universe, like space-time.
So the universe itself is expanding.
Getting bigger.
It's giving us. So you're telling me that the nothingness that we're moving into
is getting bigger.
Getting bigger?
Yep.
Or is that what you're saying?
The nothing is moving out of the way for something.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know the reason why we know this? The reason we know this is what if the universe had an OnlyFans?
What? I said that earlier because you said bathtub, and we could sell the bath water. So I'm like, the universe has an OnlyFans.
Facts.
We're not talking about this. That's no.
I pay too. I mean, I'm already paying with my life, so they can give me some bath water.
Do be like that. Okay, so the reason that we know that the universe itself is getting bigger is because we tried to measure how fast the galaxies were actually moving. Seemed to be that the galaxies were moving faster than light away from each other. But here's the catch. Nothing moves faster than light.
Is that so?
As far as we know.
We don't know that.
Basically.
We can't measure it because we measure stuff using visible light and radio wave spectrums. Anything that's moving faster than light, we would have serious problems picking it up.
Yeah, fair enough. But then the issue is that like
yes.
The thing with science though is that if you generally don't have a better explanation, then we're gonna roll with the best one until we find a better one. So,
yeah, but that's like saying I'm going to assume. That's like you're out on the town, right? And you meet a girl, and she's pretty, but her voice is deeper than you. She has an Adam's apple, and her legs look a little bit hairy. However, you met her, and she was nice and had a nice personality. That's like just saying I'm going to assume that this is a girl until I'm proven wrong.
What?
It should work for some situations. But you don't want to expound that theory too far because you might end up in you see where I'm going with this, right?
No, because you can just
that's the best analogy though.
Girl, like okay, I under facts, Sherry, same. Okay, the thing,
for you, you're right, Sherry.
The thing though is that like in general, okay, all right, like it's not the best analogy because like girls can have any combination of these qualities and still be girls.
Feedback is arguing with you, Daniel.
Except for there's some things you can't get as a girl.
But the thing about that is that I guess if we haven't been able to prove
Biologically, that is.
we haven't been able to prove that anything moves faster than light. So
How would we prove that though?
How are we going to prove it? How?
exactly. So in the meantime,
Wait, what?
You're just
So
cool with believing.
your answer to saying how would we prove that is saying, of course we can't prove that. So assuming that is correct, we'll continue with this discussion.
Exactly. You're just cool because we can't prove it, so it's just cool.
I mean, kind of literally, yes, because like, what would you be able to do? What experiment would you be able to have or try?
Yes, I get that.
Yeah, you can do research. Think outside of the solar system. Think outside of the universe.
Outside of existence and apply it to us. Yes.
I mean, it's literally this is literally how like special relativity happened. Like discussions like these, where they're like, okay, so is light the universal speed limit or not, and why?
We don't know that.
That whole field led to okay, things can't move faster than light. Oh yeah, Eins.
Alright, I'm going to have to mute this person.
Yeah.
It's alright. You can talk in the chat though, Eins. That's fine too. Oh, Kirk, it's 4:30.
I was about to send you a reminder.
It's 4:30, so the stream.
Yeah. The official club time is up.
Yeah, the official club time. Yeah.
If y'all want to stick around, stick around.
Flash? Wait, what did Flash do, Tony?
Flash.
Yo, mute yourself, Eins.
Hey. Aggressive.
Eins.
Yeah.
Dope. That happened.
So the thing about that is that yeah, all I was really saying is that our best theories for a very long time has shown that like moves faster than light. So if something is moving faster than light, what that seems to mean is that the two things are moving away from each other at a very high speed. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying that the light is definitely the speed limit. However, if we think that we see something or experiencing something or detected something that's moving faster, it's only because we're moving towards it?
No.
That's a whole other argument because that's
we're moving away from it and it is moving away from us. So
So just stating my argument in a different way. Yes, okay.
I guess kinda. Like imagine you have like you draw like dots on like a balloon and then you blow up the balloon.
Mm-hmm.
At light speed.
Yeah, that is pretty much what is. Oh yeah, the Flash, Barry Allen for sure is faster than light. Barry Allen.
We love to see it.
Wally West is faster than light too. Jay Garrick is not.
Good question though. Is thinking faster than light?
No.
No, it's not. As someone who did neuro, it is definitely not.
How do you know that?
Thinking is literally lagging right now. All you have to do is test the how quickly it takes to move along the neurons.
I didn't say perception. I didn't say like your ability to actualize the thought or even your brain's ability to manage the thought.
So you're saying, but it still has to be able to. What is thinking then? It's not
Hmm?
thinking otherwise. Then
Isn't
it's
that
not thinking.
my dude? What?
How do you know that?
Kirk,
Mhm.
how is it thinking if you're not able to conceptualize it? That's what thinking is.
What?
Do you know that for sure, though? Have scientists actually been able to map how people think and map how the thought? You've been able to map how
A
the brain
certain
works.
amount.
You've been
A
able to map
certain.
how the brain works. You have absolutely no way to connect that to perception. All you're seeing is slight hints of cause and effect on different sides. So my question
Yeah,
still stands.
Yes.
but
My
So how
question
are you
still
going to think? Okay, Kirk, when something
Mhm.
happens, how long does it take you to think about it? Is it instantaneous?
That's your reaction perception to an outside environment. Of
What
course,
is
that's slower
what
than
is
light.
thinking? You're not taking into account what thinking is then. What
No,
is
because
thinking?
I can sit down without moving, without breathing. I can hold my breath and I can think about the
But what
pyramids
is that in
in
reaction
Egypt.
to?
It's not in
Yes,
reaction
you
to
can.
anything. It's not in reaction to
Right.
anything. Because if humans were only capable of thinking
Or
in
is
reaction
it?
to stuff, that wouldn't make us humans.
But that would be a human. You just have to redefine what a human is.
Which gets you into all sorts of problems that I'm not
You're
going to judge.
literally a human as it is. All you'd have to do is change up what you think it is.
see the issue.
Because
The
you found the
issue,
truth.
the issue of it, Kirk, is that like you can say the how do you know as much as you'd like, but then we still have to not ignore the evidence that we get from the tests that we make. We can make better tests, but then we have to stop asking how do you know and look at the thing right in front of us and be like, okay, now we
Well,
have to
that does this.
there.
So,
That's
yeah.
true, but our
We
tests
don't
are
know
I
limited.
every
agree. I get where you're coming from, Kirk, and I
I
agree
kind
with
of
you
like
in
we
some
don't know
sense.
everything, but
Because
we
I've
do
thought
know
of this. I've thought of it, but we'd have to define what thinking
Wait, when you
is.
were thinking about it, was it faster than light or slower?
it was definitely slower for sure.
Speak for
Um,
yourself. Well, yeah, I am.
thinking involves like your brain, your neurons. What's it now? Things
Well, no.
firing
No, it doesn't,
through
though.
your.
Well,
No, it
no.
doesn't.
Actually,
No,
no.
it does not. Because
Actually, it
Okay.
doesn't.
you have people in full
So
comas, full ass
And they're
coma,
still
haven't
thinking.
been, and they can hear what people are saying, but when you measure the activity from their brain, there's nothing whatsoever. So you're telling me that thinking isn't faster than light? I don't know that it is.
I get what Kirk is saying, but then what I'm saying is there's a reason why I asked the question. It's not that I disagree per se, but like, what's thinking?
you're gonna have to define your terms then, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
because if you're dealing with
Because
it from
if you think
perception, then
about
yeah,
what thinking in and of itself is, yeah, it would be instantaneous. It's just there. You wouldn't
yeah.
say it's faster than anything. It's just what happens then.
And then the question is,
Because
you
it
can't say it's
carries,
faster because it's not traveling.
let's say your brain carries exactly what I'm saying. So let's say your brain is carrying something from one area to another. Yes, you're there and you perceive it, but how quickly do you think about that thing? Because thinking is different from the perception then, is what you're trying to say.
And then the thing is, if we're measuring speed, we have to measure something moving from one place to another.
And
Which,
it's not.
yeah, our brains are mechanical. So
There's no 2 points. There's no vector here. There's no, yeah. It's just there.
which raises interesting questions about like
There's some food for thought.
what we can even know, yeah. I
it
feel.
raises questions about like stuff like acupuncture, how it is that you can essentially turn people into a hedgehog, and like it helps
Oh
them
god.
feel more relaxed, and like it helps them do all this stuff.
I turn
Have there
myself
been like
into Rick and
studies
Morty.
on them? Are there
Take
studies
a
on like
break.
acupuncture and stuff? I'm gonna look into that.
Yeah, that's the thing, because a lot of
And the
I think
percentage of what it does and how long it lasts. And
The only
I
thing
mean,
I know about acupuncture is that it helps some people feel better. After
yeah. I
the
mean, we know there's memory,
real,
but what about the consciousness in and of itself? What about there are things we just can't explain yet, you know?
Mhm. the way that humans get lighter when they die is not because they farted a lot, though hydrogen sulfide is heavier than air, but
how
that's
did we
another.
get here? I'm
What is happening in this group?
to how we got here, both verbally and in the chat. Like,
Yeah, there's a
Understand?
lot of stuff going on.
oh, is the actual stream over? By the way,
I mean, but breathing in and of itself is it's involuntary. However, your brain
is the actual
has
stream
a
over?
connection. Your
No, so
brain has a connection. I have to do
here's what's
over
going on
freaking
with
neuro, so
breathing.
I'll get to it. So yeah, with breathing, you have a
With
connection that
breathing, it's
allows you
like
to override. That's all. That's literally,
no, with
if I
breathing,
put it
it's
in
like a
layman
car.
terms.
Yeah, the stream is still up. With breathing, it's like a
Oh,
car.
wait,
So
wait, wait,
you
wait,
have
wait, wait.
manual.
It's we have to turn off the.
Yeah, we have to sign off. Oh, stream people, thank you for coming out. Thank you
Oh
for
yeah.
listening to
Yes,
us
you YouTube
chat about
people, it's been
Thank you
all
for
different types
listening
of
to us
conditions.
definitely ramble about things.
Yes,
yeah.
please and
This is
thanks. Do not
this
send
is
your
almost
hate
becoming
mail
like
to my
a live podcast than like a
yeah.
club. Anyway,
Send
Yeah.
your
But
we
it's fun, you
appreciate
know?
can
the.
give you I can give you Nathan Henderson, our academic advisor's shipping address if you want to send in hate mail. And
Wow.
if you want to send in